There, perfect. Okay, cool. So again, thank you all for coming. Welcome. I kind of just went over some stuff, but there was some feedback, and now we're recording. So I'm just going to give a quick overview and then allow everyone else to kind of speak and see how you're feeling about that and where you feel your part in all of it is. So really, to me, it's about bringing all these movements together, uniting in what we're doing, uniting in raising funds, and overall sponsorship. So that we can really move and force together stronger this summer. Focusing really heavily on the Summer of Infinite Love so we can see what we can do this summer, show what our plans are, and then once the summer gets rolling, it becomes effortless to just keep the funding going because then we've experientially demonstrated what we can do. Big movements I'm seeing. We have a Peace, Love, Unity represented with Natural Travis here. We're going to be like bringing Awakening Sovereignty Collective and other missions around the Source Network. We have transformational tours and a lot of other things. So I guess I'm just going to leave it at that basic opening. Fruit the World, exactly. So many different ones. The Eighth Fire, Fruit the World, all of these different movements which are already have this movement they're creating. And now with Infinite Love in Motion, we get to unite to bring it out. Infinite Love in Motion right now is the title I've been working with, and I really envision people from all of these organizations that are part of it coming together, and we can have like a unified council for Infinite Love in Motion, so we can really be uniting in the decision making there. Or Infinite Love in Motion doesn't even exist as a body, and it's all just a name and a concept, and we're all just flowing how we flow. So really, however we all decide that it can work best. That's one of the things I want to discuss big on this meeting is how we're uniting decision-making process, if there's a council, what that looks like, starting to make plans for getting a sponsorship document together and a unified vision, making plans for communication, what our communication channels are, and how we start doing that. And then really just, hearing everyone else's piece and how they feel they fit into this and what we can do. So I'm going to leave that intro at that, and let's just go through and let each person kind of introduce themselves, say who they are, what they represent, and how they feel this can all fit together. So first one I'm seeing is Brother Travis, Natural.
There we go. Hey, y'all, what's going on? It's good to be here present. I'm so happy to see this council already joining and coming together. I see it brings a lot of joy to my soul. But yeah, it's been a long time for me. Just gonna keep it short and simple. We can move on. We can discuss things afterward, I guess. I've just been a mission I've been on for quite a long time now. I feel, and I'm very happy to now collaborate and work with other people and work with other organizations, and I see it's important more than now than ever in this time and space. And the more minds and people we have working together, the more I feel that we will be unstoppable as we, basically as a unified force. So I appreciate the diligence of assuring that we all come together. So, but yeah, I've been basically started what I'm now seeing is a ministry. As far as Peace, Love, Unity, it's an emissary, I would say, instead of a ministry. But it's basically I see the Peace, Love, Unity being the fellow emissaries or ministers, part of the tour, that are trained and capable and more than willing to go into the streets and be the voice and the ear and the space holders, for people out there that may be going through things, or that may just want a voice, a reflection, of some sort, as well as the seeing another way, seeing our example of how we are doing what we're doing, and really being the excellent example of how one can make a difference, and not only being a voice, but also being the distributor, so people can go home and educate and empower themselves and give that, remind the power of the self, and that one can remember it at any time and space, and really returning that source of inner power and expressing it. And I figure if we have a couple 100 million self-empowered, you know, in action people out here on, you know, walking the streets, doing what they do, doing what they love, which is the real mission, is really encouraging people to do what they love and encouraging action, you know, and encouraging and providing the awareness of how one may be able to heal themselves or empower themselves, and really providing that knowledge and awareness, and so one can be able to build themselves if they wish, you know, and then have the opportunity to be also aware of all of our various different organizations that are going on. So I see the peace-love-unity.org being that hub of awareness of this, you know, of the infinite love emotion, of the ASC, of the, you know, all of the, you know, source network, you know, all of the a sort of an awareness hub for everybody, you know, and then also being, you know, alongside with Francine and her mission with Crystal Nation, you know, as far as being and being able to go and really reach out to the festivals as well, and be able to really provide awareness of all the other festivals Francine had, you know, wants to really bring forth. I'll allow her to explain on that, you know, later. But as well as bringing in the grids to the nation. Imagine, you know, a grids of crystals and organites, you know, going all over the nation. You know, this has also been a part of what I've been doing with organites, but I can see it much more bigger with, you know, Sister Francine with the team. So, but yeah, and I'm also here and I also, as far as when it comes to the packaging and the funding and things like that, and really unifying and really reaching out to all of the organizations that are doing what they're doing, and really seeing who really wants to work with us. And like you said, I really think we can have it finished by the first, but I think between all of us, you know, we can, one of us, somebody that we know, that somebody that they know, has the more than know-how to be able to reach, you know, to put together that package, you know, that I've been told that through my source, it'll be a few weeks now, maybe even a month. So I don't know if we want to wait on that, or we can just work on something and, you know, and have something together, and then we can add to that when that time comes, when she has more time available. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that, and we can move it on. And yeah.
Cool. Thank you, brother. Awesome. Cool. Wonderful. Super grateful to have you and have Peace, Love, Unity so strongly represented within this. So next up for introductions and everything, we're going to move down to Doran. You want to speak a little about what you're about with Social Network and everything, transformational tours, all of that.
Okay, thank you. My name is Doran. Forward to meeting those that haven't actually met here. I want to keep the focus on what you guys have got going with the cross country. The West Coast tour. The West Coast tour has been something that has been talked about for 2 years now. Has been grounded in ethers already. I scheduled out. It's basically, it's open source. It's co-creative. It's just like a concept, a vision, a blueprint for people to come together. And I already know people are doing the West Coast tours all summer, so there isn't any planning that needs to be done. But I just started building it all out, and I'll continue to build that part out. And I'm like super on board with what you guys have going, and I want to like give assistance to what you guys got going with the cross country and back, and just some things, just some visions and stuff. I can share some things for the process I've been setting up. Basically, I've been for 2 years talking about, like, from April till October, West Coast tour from San Diego all the way up to Seattle, from the bottom of the coast to the top of the coast. Every month being in a different region, and bringing back the village in every single town and region, all the way up the tour for those 6 months. And we do 6 months on, 6 months off. 6 months off, the goal would be for us all to live in community, have one transformational tour community where we birth these tours, I know that Hawaii is coming together, and I'm putting a lot of my intentions over there now. I was focused on Ojai for a while, Ojai, California, being where, so I know that Spirit has created a critical mass for Ojai. Ojai's got tons of communities already there, so it's an amazing place. But Kauai is going to be the next leap. I see a lot of light workers leaping over to Hawaii and living in community on a lot of land and farms and whatnot. And I'm getting a group together to build that out more and more. But like the West Coast tour, the vision was just to be open sourced, put up one schedule, which I created the one schedule, which I just mapped all the festivals on the West Coast from April till October, put them all on the one schedule. This is all on our website, thesource.network. Under the top tabs on the website, there's one called like Transformational Tours, West Coast Tour. I'm going to just integrate everything you guys are doing with the cross country, and I'm going to promote both. Just basically like traveling in caravan, all the different teams, vehicles for each segment of the wheel of co-creation, like education and energy and food and water and music and movement and musicians and speakers and workshops and ceremonies like medicine wheels and energetic grounding and crystal gridding and having the whole tour fully sponsored. In the long run, this is the beginning of, I have this set up as a 3-year movement. West Coast tour this summer, April till October. The next summer, cross country, 3 cross country tours from the West Coast, one in the north, one in the middle, one in the south, going across the whole America for 6 months from April till October. And then the third summer after that, which is 2019, April till October, being 7 continental tours. And so West Coast this summer, open source, co-creative, like we just need one schedule, which I started putting that together, got all the festivals, the village building convergences on one schedule, and any other events I've found so far. And then I created a lot of Google Forms on our website there. You can see all the Google Forms that are for all the musicians to sign up. It's open facing, so anybody in the world can go there, fill out a form, and see who all the people are. It's the musicians fill it out, the speakers fill it out, the workshops fill it out, the sponsors fill it out, the vendors, products and services, the vehicles, they fill it out, the village leaders fill it out. If you have a community space, you want to put it on the map and for us to come through, fill it out. And all these other things, these forms, to open source, and we can use these forms for everything we're all doing as this like conscious Craigslist that we're building, the New Earth directory that we're all building. Plug those all in and put those together. Every light worker fills out all the forms in the world. So West Coast, just let me see here. The whole concept is, if I can even pass down some of these blueprints right now, is big. It's just to be able to have one schedule, to be able to have a map that shows the route, to be able to have resources, infrastructure like a website or social media presence, and to be able to have all these forms. I would like all you guys to have them, use them, however that happens. If you need forms, we can use them. If not, no big deal. Good to have like a video, like a unifying video about the tour. It would be a good resource to put in place. Sponsorship, like I've dreamt out like having a resources space and having sponsorship space within it, and sponsorships like a how-to. If you're an individual and you want to sponsor yourself, you could do events to make money. You can have products of your own. You could have services of your own. You could get sponsors. You could do GoFundMe and fundraisers. Use a Patreon account to put your whole mission on the Patreon and your goals and what you'll do for each dollar level of contribution. There's all these ways to monetize your mission. And then once you have a vehicle, if you already have a vehicle, you can actually wrap your vehicle with logos of all the different conscious organizations, conscious businesses, and if you want, you could do unconscious businesses too, and family and friends. Anybody that contributes to you, just wrap your whole vehicle with all the different logos. According to how much they give, you can do larger logos, pixels, depending on how many pixels, and really every single person that wants to be traveling can afford to travel just based on wrapping their vehicle, based on bringing a little bit of product services, doing some events on the road, and also there's grants and funding organizations, and all of our connections will want to give to this. So I'm like really excited about the element that you guys are bringing in, which is like really planning this thing out, because with that business plan that goes out to all the funders, I know that that'll come together and that'll happen. I know this is really big and awesome. I just didn't want to do all the work. I just wanted to open source to the world and let it flow. But it's not, like I know a lot of people that are doing tours, but it's not, West Coast tour isn't anything that's actually like physically happening as of now, starting in April. So, I want to keep all the attention on what you guys have going and be of assistance and shine the light on everything. So I think that's about it.
Sweet. Right on. Thank you, brother. Yeah. So super loving all that. Definitely having lots of thoughts pop up about quite how the intersection will work, because we've got the two main tours that I'm seeing right now, with the Infinity Loop and the West Coast tour, and maybe others popping up. Hard to say where other movements will fit in. I'm really enjoying seeing all those possibilities for different sponsorship options, how we can fund all of that. I like that you have a lot of ideas. I've got a good number of people who are have some experience with writing sponsorship documents, as well as doing grant writing, who want to help with that. That'll be.
I'll say, like, really, what if like the West Coast tour, we just say like April till May? Like, there's just not a lot of time. Like, if you really want to like help that one too, help that tour, then we say like April is like really like the month of like preparation. So really, what if all tours gather in April? We could gather from now all the way till May. But what if from now till May, I think you said like the 7th or something like that, is like, let's all gather on the ground in California or on the West Coast somewhere and kind of community it up a little bit and start to put our pieces together for the keep the focus on your tour until like West Coast gets any traction. I think that's a big step, is all of us gathering somewhere on the West Coast to really be on the ground putting this all together and getting energy and excitement going.
Beautiful. So the major kickoff point I'd been seeing for our tour was Portal to the New Earth gathering, and it's just so fitting because we're like stepping into a portal to the New Earth. So we can really have that as a big gathering point for all the different tours. Then we can go and step into that portal together, and then launch from there in all the different directions.
Meanwhile, let me just, I'm going to get out of the way here, but on the one schedule, events that we all could meet at, if you guys want, whoever wants to, there is, today's March 11th. Let's see here. Joshua Tree Bequinox, March 16th to 19th, in Joshua Tree. Portland, Oregon's got one on the 17th called Goddess. 17th to the 20th, Serenity Gathering, Northern California. 24th to 26th, Peace Sticks. That's our brother Shine here in Ojai. He's doing a Peaceful Ninjas teacher training for Peace Sticks and Peaceful Ninjas. That's a really cool thing for us to take with us on the tour. The 24th to the 26th of this month is Beyond Wonderland, is in San Bernardino. The 30th is a village building convergence in San Luis Obispo. Those are really fun, and that would be a great model for you guys all to see if you haven't seen one yet, to bring with us on the tour. Let's see here. April 1st to 4th is Desert Hearts in Los Coyotes, California. April 8th to 10th, really big fun one, Lucidity Fest in Santa Ynez, California. I think that would be really important for us all to be there if we could. That's all about like the new jobs in the future and becoming makers and all that sort of stuff. And how to bring back the village is a big element. Just the ones coming to recognition here, like Village Building Convergence to Sebastopol, April 15 to 24. That's pretty much it before the portal to the new earth. There is a, oh no, I don't want to mention that one, but I'm gonna share this in the chat right now. So that's
Perfect. And portal to new earth, just for the recording, is May 5th to 8th in Joshua Tree.
Yep.
Hey, Doran, can you also share that in the street team in Slack as well?
In the Slack, I'll share it right here if that's okay, and then there it is in chat right there. That's the one schedule. You could copy paste it into anything else and take it and run with it. It's not, whatever.
Okay. I'm just on the road right now, but maybe Gabriel can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on that note, I think one good thing to talk about is where we converge in discussions. I would say street team and ASC is a good one. We have a Slack for Infinite Love Motion, but where all these are converging, it probably makes the most sense for this moment to continue to discuss the primary collaboration between us and Slack street ASC street team Slack.
We can, let's just maybe put like the notes from this meeting in both areas just to connect people. It's cool.
There's also Dakota linked something recently, which was Singing Room or something. We might be able to do some fun stuff where the street team Slack and ASC is directly linked to like a room in Infinite Love Motion. So we'll see how that can work out. I'm going to look into that. Okay, cool. So yeah, good stuff happening there. Definitely want to continue discussing the big collaborations between Source and Infinite Love Motion, see where things like the one schedule and there's convergence of schedules and maps, if we want to have them in one centralized place or two, but all just things to continue to sit with and see what works best. Okay, we're going to move on with introductions. Jonah, you want to go up?
Sure. Yes, what's up, y'all? Jonah Martin Lyon. I love y'all. Y'all are brilliant. Thank you. Sorry for that shine in the light. That wasn't intentional, but it shows you a reflection of yourselves. So I'd like to share is a download that I received some days ago from a childhood cartoon I used to enjoy, which was Voltron. And it helped formulate some potentials with our street teams and looking at within this peace, love, and unity movement as well, organizing with color vibration, and then having our shirts, shirts with that logo on the front. I was actually at church after this download happened. I went into church, and as I was in meditation, I opened my eyes and I saw two shirts. You'll have like the image on the front, and then on the back will be all your sponsors written in on the back of the shirt. So what I was thinking about would be these shirts, and I'm going to kind of flip it around and give you an idea to just here is getting into some colors. These are some masters that I've just been using for my own meditational purposes, but looking at the different lions in Voltron, and you had 5 lions that formed this defender of the universe. So looking at bringing those in where we would have a red team, that has specific tasks. We have a green team with specific tasks. We have a yellow team with specific tasks, and we have a blue team with specific tasks, and we have a purple team with specific tasks. So we have these 5 teams, and then when we all come together and unite, then all of a sudden we form this rainbow tribe, getting all the tasks done at the same time. Within this, we can have, kind of leaders. So what that transformed into then was this revolving circle where, okay, let's say you have a lead of the red team, and within that they have that leader has 7 friends, family members of that team that participate in the organization of that team, and they work within those tasks throughout the week, and then we come back together once a week. And what did we learn? What did Red Lion learn in their discovery in that space? What did Yellow Lion learn in that discovery of their space working that task? So each line will come back and basically form and have a nice download and feedback system of what we learned by going into action out there on that street and performing these tasks. And within this vibrational color thinking also into our chakra systems as moving that, as our conducting that energy. So in that red space and that red line, you know, we're in those roots, you know, and so the action engaged in that red line as a task would be looking into just the engagement of humans, engagement in people around, how just we're going to approach radical inclusion, right? And participation essentially is the task there, you know, and then we move on. And within that, so part of that is the radical inclusion, participation, engaged human contact. Then we move into like, okay, what are we sharing, you know, at that point? So I use task as an acronym. So then we're down in the S, what are we sharing? So the red team would be sharing, you know, like literature, you know, and putting together a trifold or some type of paraphernalia, you know, that we can hand out so that we can go ahead and bring awareness to what's going on. And then that would be like the radical inclusion, and then the participation would be like another member of that red team would be at a table for, say, at an event, taking in information on each participant, right? So now we're taking down the email, we're taking all the contact information, all their social network, whatever they'd like to offer into that is joining us in our movement. Moving on into Yellow Lion is we're working in basically civic responsibility and recommodification, which was a transformation of a word that came from decommodification at the burn. What I was playing into with that recommodify was like a little, you know, everything that we've co-created together, it's all of ours to bring back to source, right? So essentially it's like we're bringing that back, you know, all the commodities, the corporations, everything, it's all ours because we are the people. To start working towards bringing that back as modifying. So while we're on that street team, how we can encourage that type of thing would be, you know, going about and going into corporations and going into businesses and asking them to be part of this co-creation and no longer just creating in their own world and doing their own thing, but to become part of the whole. So, and then civic responsibility, you know, is basically like working on, the Yellow team is going to serve kind of as a very active embodiment, moving around and looping per se, and cleaning up and encouraging the responsibility from these business owners to take some responsibility in the community they hold space in. So whether it be cleaning up their outdoors area, the playgrounds around, but starting to have meeting grounds where they're activating their communities much more and participating together. Moving up into Green Lion, you know, having green teams, right? So we're wearing green shirts, peace, love, unity, green shirts. On the back, our sponsors, and we're out there and we got buckets and we're playing music and we're cleaning up the streets and just hitting, showing our heart space action right there so people can see that and get involved with immediacy. So leaving no trace, cleansing the canvas, and then sharing, like what they would share in the Green Line is essentially their way of going about leaving no trace. And that can be, I don't have it with me at the moment, but I used a bucket from Home Depot and put some art on it and turned it into my moving bucket. So it goes around, it's an artistic display, and it ends up adding like a fun flavor for kids, especially, to feel like they can go into this and make it a fun, enjoyable process versus, you know, picking up trash on the street. So communal effort is also the second aspect to the Green Lion, and that's, you know, to plant seeds, plant trees, you know, gather the harvest, right? Go in and actually gather the fruit, all the energy around. Going on into Blue Lion,
two traits. Blue line is the immediacy and basically a response to now moment. So you see Bruce Lee here, be like water. So blue team's essentially they're available to not only hydrate, bring water to the people, talk about the importance of water and our water protectors and their movement and expanding that awareness. But being available to whatever is asked for at that current moment in time, what's asked for in that now moment, you know. So blue team is really just being available and hydrating the worker bees of that space. Then going into purple line, which is still currently under construction and discovery right now, but that purple line is the two aspects of purple line will be self-reliance and self-expression. So the task that will come along with that, again, you know, what I'm seeing there is in action is, you know, self-reliance. Like, okay, what does that mean? You know, in purple, just bringing in, okay, teaching that. And so having workshops, you know, and answering questions along the way, what it is to be self-reliant and what it is to be fully in your and radically self-expressing yourself. And so that's kind of the download that came to me is working with our street teams, going in, having and working with this color vibration, because that'll look as a strong form of organization. You know, if you see like a whole group over here wearing red and a whole group over here, it's going to put out the energy of knowing, hey, this is an actual team. This is an organization. This isn't an individual. This is a co-created project.
Interrupt for just a second. This Zoom's going